What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, I wanted to make a quick video for people who may be wanting to know what it feels like to be on the Sublocade shot, or people who may be considering who are going to be transitioning. Some of you may think this is OCD, and it very well could be. So if you're not an OCD person like me, then this might not apply to you. But if you guys are curious, feel free to listen along. Before I get started, you need to know I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Nothing on my channel is medical advice. So if you're struggling with addiction, please find your own addiction doctor. Okay, guys? All right. So I know a lot of people on my channel have been curious about switching over to the Sublocade shot. Some of you have done so already. Some of you might want to better prepare for the transition. And I think any of those things could be, or maybe you're just curious, like you'd like to know how you'd feel on it. This is really the only way that I could think of something that would very closely mimic how you would feel. Now, obviously it's not going to be exact 100%. And it does take a bit more effort than you guys currently on SUBOXONE are doing now with just taking your dose once or twice a day. It does take quite a bit more work than that. But hear me out. Tell me what you guys think. If you think I'm crazy, you can tell me that. That's all right. But in my estimation, with all the experience that I have on SUBOXONE and now Sublocade, I think that this could be a very close way to turn your SUBOXONE into Sublocade as far as like how you're gonna feel every day. Obviously, you can't physically turn your SUBOXONE into Sublocade. That should be obvious here, but if you guys want to know what it feels like, this is what you would do. So I've got some doses written out here, and I'll just kind of list them. So most people sleep about 8 hours a night, right? So these are just kind of general numbers. You can readjust things for your schedule if you need to, but most people sleep about 8 hours a night. So let's just figure that. Okay, so your waking hours, you're gonna have 16 hours of awake time each day, right? So what you would do is take the current milligrams of SUBOXONE that you're taking per day and divide that by 8, okay? So what you're gonna do is take, if you're on 32 milligrams a day, people like Joe out there that they're on higher doses, right? If Joe wanted to give this a shot, then what he would do is he would take 4 milligrams 8 times a day, every 2 hours, guys. So these doses are going to be taken every 2 hours, okay? And what this is going to do is it's going to get your body out of the, how do I say this? Out of the peak and the fall off, right? The huge spike of buprenorphine and then the fall off, right? What this is really going to do is kind of level your blood levels throughout the day, which is going to really closely mimic the Sublocade shot, because that's what it's doing. Just around the clock, it's giving you low doses of buprenorphine, okay? That's why I feel so normal. I don't even feel that I'm on Sublocade because I feel so normal. You never feel it, right? You guys have heard me say this before. So if you're on 32 milligrams a day, you're going to take 4 milligrams as soon as you wake up, 4 milligrams, set your alarm clock for 2 hours, take another 4 milligrams. Every 2 hours until you go to sleep, you're going to take 4 milligrams. So 8 times a day, you're going to take 4 milligrams. Okay, if you take 16 milligrams a day, you're going to take 2 milligrams for your first dose right when you wake up. Every 2 hours, 2 more milligrams, 2 more milligrams. 8 times a day, for you folks that are on 16 milligrams, you would take 2 milligrams 8 times a day, right? Spaced out every 2 hours. Set your alarm clock, okay? If you're on 8 milligrams a day, then you would take 1 milligram 8 times a day, right? If you're on 4 milligrams a day total, then you're going to take half of a milligram 8 times a day. If you're on 2 milligrams total, then you're going to take a quarter of a milligram 8 times a day, right? I really don't see hardly anybody below 2 milligrams going over to the Sublocade shot. I think 2 milligrams is just about the lowest that I've heard. However, if you are wanting to try something out of the ordinary, I would applaud you for trying something. As you guys remember, I had Dr. Ken Starr on, And I had asked him if he had started anybody that was down to like a 1 milligram or less, and he hasn't, but he said he would be willing to do that and trying to give somebody like a half of 100 milligram Sublocade shot or something like that. So if your doctor and yourself are willing to try things out of the ordinary and you're on, say, 1 milligram, maybe you could go in and get a half of 100 milligram shot and just cruise out from there, right? But I don't see that hat scenario coming together. It would kind of take a few out of the ordinary people to come together to do that and make that work. But if you have heard of that, somebody has heard of that dose and has tried that kind of lower stuff, please let me know, because I haven't heard of it yet. I think in the future, that will definitely be something that happens though, okay? So yeah, guys, if I would say anything below 2 milligrams, you guys are probably just going to continue tapering. If any of those doses, you could go even more OCD with that, guys, and you could dose every hour. So you would cut the doses that I said in half from that. So I don't need to run the calculations for you guys. I think doing it every hour is a little way too OCD. I think every 2 hours is enough. And that'll really keep your blood levels stable all day, right? And you won't have the huge spikes and fall offs, spike and fall off. Like most people on here take 1 to 2 doses a day, right? If you take 1 dose a day, you're gonna get the huge spike and then fall off throughout the rest of the day. If you take 2 doses, it's gonna be like a lesser spike, fall off, another spike, fall off, right? So that's kind of what your blood levels would look like. And what your blood levels are going to look like on an average basis are what's going to determine how you feel. So hopefully this makes sense, you guys. Obviously, as I said, this isn't going to be exactly how you're going to feel and exactly how your Sublocade transition would go, but I can tell you it's going to be pretty damn close. I've crunched a lot of numbers, and I think that for you guys considering the Sublocade shot, or you just want to know maybe how it would feel to be on the Sublocade shot, feel free to give this a try for a week or 2. Or if you know you're going to transition to the Sublocade shot and you want a really smooth transition, you could do this maybe a week or 2 before you go to your doctor's appointment. And then that way, by the time you get your shot, you'll already be ready for feeling steady and normal, right? You're not going to have that little devil on your shoulder wondering why I'm not feeling my dose kick in. So that can be a way for somebody to get ahead or to better prepare for the Sublocade shot, because I don't think a lot of people understand that it's a much different experience. But as you guys have heard me say numerous times on this channel, that it does feel a lot different than being on the oral doses, okay guys? So just thought this would be a cool little video to put together. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, baby. Ooh, baby. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good day, guys.